the 2023 Harley-Davidson Low Rider ST. Is this the perfect Harley-Davidson? There's only one way to find out. Let's jump on her, take her for a little spinsome. Okay guys, so first off, I'm trying to find out whether this is the perfect stock Harley-Davidson. So I'm going to give you my reasons as to why I think this might be the perfect Harley-Davidson as stock, and then we're sort of going to analyse, test, review and go over whether it lives up to my thoughts for this bike. So to give you a bit of a background, I have ridden the Low Rider, standard Low Rider S. Now this is the ST, so you have quite an obvious difference. This big fairing at the front, hard panniers on the rear. That's pretty much all the differences there are. You have a big 117 V-twin with 105 horsepower and 168 newton meters of torque, so she's a powerful bike. She is a big cruising V-twin engine. So my reasons thinking that this could possibly be the perfect Harley is it's got the best engine, number one. It's got the 117, the biggest, always the best. No, that's not true, but it is a peach of an engine, the 117. Second reason, it has the touring capabilities. So it has the fairing at the front with a windscreen. You can opt for a larger windscreen as well. So you have the wind protection and comfort for touring. Secondly, you also have hard panniers on the rear, again for touring, packing luggage, you know, tent, whatever it be, for going on longer trips. Right, I'm going to try and mend my GoPro and I'll get back to you. Carry on the reasons. Okay, bonjour. Hopefully you can see my beautiful helmet here. Carrying on the reasons, so we've got the big engine, touring practicalities with the fairing and the panniers at the rear. Thirdly, the size. You have the smaller Harleys, the Sportsters, etc. But then they don't have the big engine, they're not as capable at touring. But you also have the big Harleys, the Heritage Classic, the Sport Glide, Road Glide, etc. But those bikes are big, so if you like using your bike a lot and you're not going touring every day or every weekend, if you just like riding to work, commuting on your bike, going for an hour's blast, then I think those bikes are a bit big. The Low Rider ST seems to just have it all, in my opinion, from the spec sheet. It's a nice size, it's a viable size to just get on and just take for an hour's blast and have a bit of fun with it. On top of that, it has some sportier characteristics, it really does, compared to those larger bikes. This is quite a nice handling bike and you can have some fun with it, so you can take this out for a bit of a Sunday blap just for half an hour or so and enjoy it. And number four, the styling. I think it looks pretty badass. Okay, it doesn't have that lovely classic vibe of the Heritage Classic or some of the older styled Harleys, which I do very much like. This is slightly more masculine, it's butch, it looks pretty aggressive styling, badass, shall we say. So that's, how many was that, 4 or 5? I can't remember. There are the reasons. Now, does she live up to expectations? Straight off of the bat, so to speak. Number one, engine. Oh yes, the engine definitely lives up to expectations. I will always, when it comes to a V-twin on a Harley, pretty much go for the biggest one I can get your hands on, and this is no exception. It's a lovely motor. Oh, it's nice when she just gets moving. You get up to legal speed limits, nationals, pop it into 6th gear and it is just ticking over, it's just chugging along. Absolutely lovely. But then when you lower down in the gears, you can really rev on it and it will give you some speed. You can really have some fun with it. So engine, big tick. Let's get into the handling and size of the bike. I'm a big fan of it. Handles very nicely. You can actually have some fun with this bike. It feels a lot lighter on its feet, its tyres, than other Harleys do. You can start hunting the corners a bit and start playing, and you can carry much more corner speed than other larger Harleys. So it definitely has that fun factor. onto the riding position. Now this is a bit of a tricky one. I traditionally like stretched out front forward legs, laid back, nice sort of bunny ear style handlebars, a bit like the, I'll keep on harking back to the Heritage Classic. I'm very much that style of Harley guy. When you jump on here, it's quite surprising at how high the pegs are and how big a bend there is in your knees. Your feet are quite high up. Give it 10 minutes or so, sorry it's windy, give it 10 minutes or so and you do get used to it. I'm already used to it and it's not a problem. Bars, nice reach to the bars, quite flat style handlebars. They're not like an old classic Harley bunny ear style. However, when I first jumped on I was a little bit uncomfortable, but now I'm used to it. I'm sinking back into that lovely lumbar support in the seat. Oh Jesus, that car gone off there. And it's making sense. This is such a nice sized bike. I don't feel like it's too big, yet it retains all of that comfort. Ah, it's when the road opens up, these Harleys just shine. Was feeling a bit strained back there on the country lanes, but when you can stretch that big V-twin, that's when they start making complete sense. We're just coming up to a roundabout here. Again, on these roundabouts, you don't feel like sometimes the big Harleys, they can be a bit of a chore to get around the roundabouts. But this, they're actually leaning, you know, one-handed, look at me, but it's easy and it does feel relatively light on its feet. Ah, damn, this is a nice bike. Yeah, buddy, so far, so good. So, just whilst we're here, guys, I'd like to take the chance to say a massive thank you to Oxford Harley-Davidson, part of the Blade Motorcycles group where I do most of my test rides. Many thank you to them. If it wasn't for them and dealerships like them, we wouldn't get to ride these stunning machines for reviews and before making our minds up if we want to buy the bike. So many thanks, Oxford Harley-Davidson. Okay, so just on to the next reason of why this is potentially the perfect Harley-Davidson. Let's get on to the sort of touring capabilities, starting off with the wind protection. Of course, this is quite a large fairing they've put on here. It's got quite an angular, masculine, sort of menacing look about it. More modern rather than retro classic style. I do like the style of it. It's big enough that it is nice amount of wind protection around your body. As I say, you can opt for a larger screen as well. This is actually bigger than I assumed, this screen here, and it is good. I sort of get wind. I'm 5'9". I'm getting wind sort of just at my sort of eye line there, so really nice wind protection for longer rides, yet it's not huge, it's not ridiculously big like a lot of the larger touring models with Harley, where I just personally think they're just too big. And if you're just going for a day's ride, you don't want a big old massive bat wing in front of you. This is a nice sized fairing. Nice hoot from a trucker there, he likes it. Who doesn't like a hoot from a trucker? Anyway, you don't want a hoot from a trucker. So, hard panniers as well. Detachable, nice and easy system, just a latch at the back, lift it up, boom, and they pop off. Nice amount of capacity as well, it looks like. Two, one on either side. Again, not too massive for shorter rides, and also shorter rides you can just take them off. Also you can take the fairing off as well, I should have mentioned that. So a pretty adaptable bike as well, yet if you're going touring, plenty of room for touring as well. So some specifications, I'm not going to go too much into detail on the specs. If you want, you can go and check out my Low Rider S review. Pretty much identical specs in terms of suspension and brakes. You've got upside down forks up front, two 300mm discs up front, strong brakes, and suspension's very nice. It's not wallowy, it's a nice balance of comfortable cruising but also connected to the road. You can actually get some feedback from the road when you're sort of coming into the corners and coming out of corners, etc. But then great for touring setup as well. So good so far. So far, so good. It is living up. It's nearly, I'm not going to say it, but it's so far it's ticking all of the boxes for potentially perfect Harley-Davidson. Alright guys, just want to give you a look at the feet position, sorry. A sort of mid-foot position. It's not sat forward, try not to drop the bike with your legs out forward and laid back like a classic Harley. You're quite sort of, your legs are under you. I'm 5'9". I've got quite a big bend in my knees there. My knees almost sort of at 90 degrees to my hips, possibly even higher. It is quite a bend in your knee. However, you do get used to that pretty quickly. Nice big lumbar support in the seat here that The engine, when you rev it on, wedges you back into that lumbar support, and it is a comfortable place to be. Weight-wise, 327 kilograms. Look, it's a big Harley, it's a massive engine. You're expecting it to be heavy, plus the 300 plus kilogram mark, but it's not 400 plus, which is a benefit, so you've got that added slightly lower weight compared to the massive touring Harleys. Okay guys, so performance wise, handling, braking, very nice again, ticking that box. So you got the dual discs up front. Often Harleys you just get a single disc and they're not focused on performance, but these front brakes are actually quite strong, confidence inspiring as well. They're quite good performance. So a big tick on the brakes means you can hustle this bike a bit more, and you got the confidence of, you know, slowing down before a corner, etc., just slowing down quicker. Again, the suspension, Harley's not known for this, but upside down forks on the front, it does make a difference. It's nice suspension. In the UK we get some rough roads here, and it's dealing with the roads really well. Really enjoy it in the corners. On top of that, because of the foot pegs are higher, middle higher, it means you're a bit more scrunched up, but it also means you can lean it over more without worrying scraping the pegs. I haven't scraped the pegs. Sure, a lot of people can. I haven't done it today. Yeah, you're not worrying about that. You can really lean it over and have fun with it. It's a good performing motorcycle as well as a good tourer, and comfortable. Ooh, it's getting there. It could be the perfect Harley. It could be. And here comes the rain. No! Time to wrap it up. Is it the perfect Harley-Davidson? A very good question. It has ticked all of my original questions in the video. It's ticked all of those boxes actually. Oh, it's actually properly starting to rain. Summer gear, not a good idea. Yeah, but is it perfect? It's a really tricky one. I would say it's the perfect and best all-round Harley-Davidson. It's just so many different flavors of Harley. Do you want your real heritage classic style Harley? Then this isn't going to be the perfect one for you. Do you just want to be loud, look cool, impractical, badass? This probably isn't the bike for you either. I think it's just got a bit of everything. It's certainly got the best engine they do out of the box. It's got all the touring capabilities. It's got the performance. I'm going to go with this is the perfect all-round Harley-Davidson. I really think it is. If you're torn between which Harley to get due to practicality, power, weight, size, all of those questions, this really answers a lot of those questions for you. It's sort of everything rolled into a great package. So yeah, there you have it. Hope you enjoy that video and the conclusion I came up with. I'm stuck behind a horrible van coming back to Oxford Harley. Many thanks, Oxford Harley. Thank you for watching, guys. Hope you're all well out there, and I shall see you in the next video. Hopefully there may be a bit of an announcement. I may have something coming up, but we'll get onto that in the next vid. Many thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe if you have not already. I'll see you in the next video. Ciao Bella. It's a-raining. Da, 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 da. Look at all of these Harleys.